Well, hey everybody, glad you've taken some time to be in group this week. Our desire, my hope is that you'd be open to seeking and learning and exploring a little bit more about the personal steps that you can take to go a little bit deeper in connection. So we're calling this a journey to connection. This week we want to talk about this idea of the experience of deep connection, the experiences we have of genuine love, and how that really becomes a part of us. As you and I experience the genuine connection, deep loving connection with the relationships we have, it starts to flow from us. It becomes natural. It becomes something that's healthy in a very healthy way. And that's what God wants to do in your life and in my life as I grow and as you grow in deeper connection. I want to say a couple specific things, a couple kind of little categories this week. I want to talk about the nature of this deeper loving connection. And then I want to talk about the art of it. The art of this deep loving connection, and I want to start by just referring back to part of the passage for this last week, as David shared, is in 1 John 3:18, and it says this. It says, "Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth." Now, what that's not saying, it's not saying that we don't speak love. We don't speak loving words to each other. What the verse is referencing is that until love becomes action and reality or truth, and until it's just playing out in real life form, it can just be an idea. It can just be a teaching, a lesson. We can have a lot of biblical knowledge about the idea of love and loving others and pursuing and connecting with others. We can have a lot of ideas, but those ideas have to become action. So the love of God or the love of people, it can be a concept, but it needs to become an experience in order for people to truly experience what I believe Christ modeled, the heartbeat of God to show his love through Christ and through others. And so people need to experience it. That's why I love what Dan Siegel said. Dan Siegel would be someone who's kind of an expert in the neuroscience of connection and interpersonal connection and the way we experience connection with each other. And he said this. He said that people have the human need to feel felt. Let me say that again. We have the human need, the human need in every single one of us to feel felt. In other words, I need to know that I'm experienced, loved, cared for, matter. And so the nature of it, two things I want to say about the nature of this loving connection that you and I want to pursue, experience, and also help others experience is it's responsive. It's responsive. In other words, when you and I pay attention to other people, when we listen to people well, when we watch them, when we inquire as to who they are and their realities and their story, when we practice this idea of being empathetic with other people, relating with people, attuning to them, like tuning into who they really are, that's responsive. Like that's something that you can experience. It's measurable. Like you know if you're having it or not. And so the nature of this loving connection that you and I are pursuing and we need to experience, it's responsive. Here's another thing. It's respectful. It will feel respectful. Here's what I mean by that. Are people valued after they interact with us? Do they feel valued? Now, I'm not talking about situations where, the goal isn't connection. That I'm talking about in connection. If I'm wanting to connect with people and them to experience me and my love and the love of God, are they feeling valued? Because Jesus introduced this thing that translated into him leaving people feeling valued. As he associated with people, they felt valued. And by the way, these were people that had very different viewpoints sometimes, very different lifestyles, belief systems, doctrines, socioeconomic backgrounds, political beliefs and systems. Like, these were very different people. And Jesus decided, no, I want people to feel a sense of respect, a sense of value. And this will flow out of us as we personally experience a sense of value and love and connection with others. Now, the other thing I want to mention is the art of this deeper connection, the art of deep loving connection. There's the nature of it. It's responsive, it's respectful. What about the art of it? And here's a couple things I want to say that will show up. They'll be evident if you and I are pursuing this connection. The one is care will be given and care will be received. Care is given and care is received. In other words, as I love others, as I show love, I will desire their good, and they will experience my desire for their good. I can have a desire for somebody's good and not really apply it. Once I apply it, act on it, needs are met. And when needs are met, a person feels connected to. They, like I said, that quote earlier, they feel felt. And so care is given and care is received. They know that they're loved and valued. And so the needs of others, the health of others becomes a priority for us. And I'm not thinking so much about physical or material needs. That's important, that's valuable. I'm really thinking a lot about this idea of the emotional needs, the mental needs, the spiritual needs of other people. And the art of it is that we care. Care is given and care is received. And then the art of it also means that connection is pursued. We continue to pursue connection. You can actually meet the need of another person and avoid connecting. And so it can be token or it can just be transactional. But what about when you and I, we want to meet needs, we want to have this deeper connection because we want to be a part of their story. We want to have a deeper, loving connection. And I realize, and I think this is important to make sure we keep this in mind as well, is that we can't have deep connection with everyone. That's not the design. We have a loving circle in which we will live and pursue deeper connection. We have responsibilities to relationships. And it's important that we care and tend to those relationships. So we can't have deep connection with everyone. But here's this also, keep this in mind. But we must have deep connection with some. And so you and I are pursuing, what's my inner circle? Where do I receive connection and find care and pursue care in my primary responsibilities, in my relationships? But also, where can I also look outside of my circle to offer connection and allow God to use me as a vessel to love others and grow in connection with them and in their stories? So we're on this journey to connection, and it really is about growing in loving, deep connection with others. And I believe God wants to help us with that. Hope you enjoy your conversation around this. Hope this brings some more application and growth. So glad that we have this time together each week. See you next time.